Today I'm going to address the question about why is it that the H is in front of the M and in front of the N and the L instead of this way. And this question comes up because very often the H, which represents aspiration, aspiration just means a puff of air, or what I like to call it, air friction, that is created at your consonant letter, usually comes after the letter. So, b, b, with air, p, p, g, g, with air, k, k. If you look at linguistics, you'll usually see it marked like that. Because this letter here just tells you that your consonant has air. The main point of the sound is still your consonant. So now that brings us back. Why are we not doing that? And why are we instead doing this? Well, here's a very quick answer for you. In Hmong, we have two types of aspiration. We have your usual aspiration, which is that air friction or that puff of air that comes after you create that consonant. So, b, b, p. Ba, flower. Pa, a plate. And then we also have what's called pre-aspirated or pre-aspiration. Hma, hma. And you'll usually see that with the tiny aspiration in front, because when you have pre-aspiration, it is still your consonant that matters. And this is called pre-aspiration because when you're making this sound, the M sound here, you'll actually hear the aspiration first. So, ma, Hmong, Hmong. You can actually feel your breath coming through your nose. And it actually comes first before the M is even voiced. Ma, ma. Whereas you cannot do that up here. You will never be able to aspirate your B if you didn't make the B first. Ba, 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 pa. Hmong. Let's take a look at another example. Let's look at the ga, 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 ka, written like that. Ga, 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 to touch. Ga, 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 ka, frozen. Now let's take a look at your l, l. Lu, aspirated, is hl, hl, lu. You'll see that H first, if I was to write hlu linguistically. And you see that H first because if you make this blended sound right here, which is your aspirated L, you'll hear that air first. H, 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 hlu, hlu. So if you're to elongate that sound, really enunciate that, you'll hear that air actually coming out first before you even give voice to the la, la, la. And again, you cannot do that up here. You've got to make the g, 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 even before you can aspirate the g. Ga, 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 ka. La, 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 la. La. So if you were to elongate that so you can hear it, you'll hear that air first. We call that pre-aspiration. What's really interesting about this is that very few languages, very few known and studied languages around the world is pre-aspirated. And some of those languages are some of our First Nation languages right here in the USA. So indigenous languages. Sami language also is pre-aspirated. So these three sounds, the L, the M, and the N, especially in white dialect, are pre-aspirated. That is why your aspiration is noted first and not second. So it is not a beauty contest. We don't need all of them to look exactly the same. We are merely writing how we say it. That is why.